Good morning and happy Wednesday, hump day. So we all know that consistency is key, right? So we all know that in recovery, it's more than just putting down the substances. It's changing behavior and creating new healthy habits. And we all know, like I said, consistency is key, but very, very, very challenging to change old behaviors. I find myself, still catching myself sometimes after the fact with these old behaviors. Yesterday, I was running late on my way to school and frantic, and I'm like, our meeting went over. It never goes over. I'm running late. I hate this feeling. I get in my car. I forgot my phone. Had to run up 3 flights of stairs to go back up to my office and find out my phone was in my pocketbook the whole time. And I'm speeding there, and I'm saying to myself, I need to calm down. I need to relax. Just take it easy. But at the same time, I'm like, I fucking can't believe this. I was late last week, and I tried to leave earlier this week. My intention was to leave earlier this week so that I can get there on time and whatever. So, I had to catch myself, and I was driving. I was looking at this table that someone was getting away. That's another bad behavior, picking up free stuff. As for another video. And so, I'm driving there and speeding. I'm cursing this person that's in front of me, that's in the fast lane and is not going fast, and no one in front of them. Why don't they just pull over? Yada, yada, yada. Didn't utilize the tools that I had. I did eventually. I did catch myself, but it took a while, right? And so these old behaviors are really hard to change, really hard to break. And knowing that we need to do it, knowing that we need to be consistent is one thing, practicing is another. And there's a reason why, and I've explained this in other videos before, there's a reason why we have habits, right? It's our brain's way of saving energy. So it costs us a lot of energy. We burn a lot of calories in thinking. And so our body wants to reserve that energy for like life and death situations. It doesn't want to waste it on stuff that it feels it could put on autopilot, right? And so once it's on autopilot, it doesn't consume as much energy. And so that's why habits are formed. If we do things consistently, our brain says, oh, okay, when we do this, this happens, or when this happens, we're supposed to do this, right? And then we say, okay, we don't have to problem solve that anymore. We don't have to think about that anymore. We just automatically do it. And so that's a great thing if it's a good habit, but if it's a bad habit, that's what makes it difficult to break. And so the key is breaking into or interrupting that habit loop, right? It's interrupting, it's trying to break from when this happens, it's trying to stop in the middle, right? And so, there's a few techniques that people use to do that. I know Mel Robbins talks about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So she interrupts her thinking by counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She's focusing on the counting. She's counting backwards, and then she moves and she does some action. And I know for me, I find it really helpful if that action can include getting out of the environment I'm in. Because our thoughts change, and we all know this, we've all felt this experience when we go downstairs, let's say, to get something, and then we get downstairs and then we forget. Or we just go into the other room to get something, and we go in the other room and then we forgot what we were in there for, right? So sometimes just changing the room, our environment, can change our thoughts. So that interruption. Tony Robbins, no relation, but I follow both of them. I love both of them. Tony Robbins talks about that interruption where you kind of like think of something totally off topic, something totally bizarre. And one of the things that I use, I try to think of a word or a phrase or a song that I can interrupt when I'm doing that. So let's say I'm about to speak and say something that may be inappropriate at the time. I can say bananas. People are gonna look at me funny. They're gonna think I'm weird. They're gonna think I'm crazy. Well, they already know I'm crazy, so that doesn't matter. But then they might even question why I'm saying that. Or even if I'm having these negative thoughts and no one's around, I can say out loud bananas. Even more crazy, right? But it interrupts that thought pattern, and I can say, think of something else. It's just that initial break. It could be with the song, right? So sometimes I'll be thinking negative thoughts, or I'll be thinking that inner critic starts talking to me, and then I can just break out in song. I'll sing something like ridiculous, like Barney, You Are Special, or Inchworm is another one I used to always say, inchworm, you know that one. Anyway, so I try to think of things that I think of them not at that time, because at that time, in order to interrupt that habit loop, it has to be already prepared, kind of. And so I think of things ahead of time that I can utilize, and I'll think of a couple of things. Like, I'll think of running in a circle, or I'll think of a song that I can just pull out of the hat and start singing, or a phrase, or what have you. So I try to think of 3 or 4 things that I can interrupt when I'm trying to interrupt and break that habit loop. Practice makes progress, not perfection. It's a setup. If you're trying to aim for perfection, it's a setup. You'll never get there, and you just cause yourself to have mental anguish and whatnot, and be depressed because you'll never reach it. But progress, right, can always be better than you were before, and it takes practice and consistency and all these great things, but they do take time, because it's not going to happen overnight, right? You didn't get to where you were with that bad habit overnight, right? You didn't wake up one morning with 200 extra pounds on you. You may feel like all of a sudden you woke up and you have all this extra weight, but it doesn't. It happens by little incremental, bad habits, maybe bad choices that you've made along the way, and then you get there. So the same thing is true for the good habits, right? It takes little incremental changes, good decisions, and changing those old thoughts, changing those old behaviors. I hope this has helped you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to sign up for my webinar that's happening on Saturday. If you're interested, Women in Recovery for, honing in on communication and relationships. So it's Communication Survival Guide for Women in Recovery this Saturday. You can click the link in my bio, and it will bring you to my website where you can sign up. So it's the 25th September, 11 a.m., and I hope to see you there. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to let the people that you love know that you love them. Send them that text. Give them that call. Give them a hug if you can. Say you're sorry if you need to. Be the bigger person. Be the first one to break that chain and live your life enthusiastically, because there is no other way. Until next time, guys. Peace.